Mantis, trained almost from birth to be the supreme example of humanity, physically perfect, mentally exalted, her mind wiped by the priest of Pama. She met burnt-out swordsman and began a twisted journey that took her first to the Avengers and then the universe as Mantis became the Celestial Madonna. You're going to hear in this video a lot of times of mentioning Celestial Madonna. Mantis was split into 5 different Mantises in some point in her career: a freak, mother, woman, adept, avenger, super martial arts avenger. That's why you see her doing mystical stuff here and there, like a lot of different sides of her. There was a time when the destruction of her mental body sent her back to Earth as a phantom. She didn't have none of her abilities as before, with a headache, but without a memory of anything that's happened since she saw you. Her empathy with people and plants had vanished. She couldn't ask the plants she found in the house what had happened. She remembered the Avengers. As a phantom, she was even able to become a being of pure thought, to enter a different realm. Even though there was a point in time where she was split up, she did eventually become whole again, to where she got her martial arts abilities, her magic knowledge, all that good stuff. She became one again, which is why you're going to see those occasions later on in this video of her kind of fighting Thanos a little bit. You know, this temporary time where Mantis was like fragmented, split apart from her true self. Her other version of herself even had to warn other characters, to warn her other selves that Thanos was killing her other selves. I know that's confusing. So she basically tried to save herself's life in another position. And before I even get started, later on in this vid, she has had a temporary power of becoming one with eternity. Becoming one with him, but of course this didn't last long. This is Eternity's avatar, by the way. But yeah, let's get it. Mantis is an empath, telepath, and pyrokinetic. Mantis is the chosen one, Celestial Madonna, that can make plant vegetation type avatars of herself to imitate herself from getting into real harm. If she gets impaled, she can make a plant her stand in, so it's not really her true self getting harmed, avatar type of status. She's a hardworking dedication type of character, even meditating or even levitating when she's focused like this. The Mistress of Martial Arts. Mantis in the movie is nothing almost like her comic book self. She's so much more than just a psionic type character. When Mantis was younger, even at an early age, she was trained in the art of martial arts by these priests of Pama for years, teaching her martial arts. Every type of defense and offense. Always an emphasis on perfection. The priests seemed to worship her because they thought she was some kind of chosen one. All this stuff is what landed her the name of Mantis. She became the protector of this area. While she was here, these priests taught her other senses, enlightenment instead of light on top of her martial arts abilities. She was believed by these people to be the Celestial Madonna. You're probably thinking, what the heck does this mean? In order to be Mantis, that's what the name of the Celestial Madonna is. The Celestial Madonna is supposed to be the perfect human. The whole purpose of this was to be able to perceive telepathy of the plant life your priest nurtured. Celestial Madonna. Because she was the only non-Cree ever to communicate with Kotati, the plant life. Empathic nature, they say. She was even chosen of the other psionic type characters like Moondragon when it comes to being the Celestial Madonna and a goddess. Even to top tier beings like Kang the Conqueror, this is nothing to be trifled with. Even Kang says it's prophesied that the Celestial Madonna, her mate, the records say will be the most powerful man on earth, though they give him no name. Kang wanted to be he, father to the child, and through him ruler of the heavens. So yeah, it had a lot riding on her. Get a little big information dump on her right here. She's known for her complete control over the body and has extraordinary ability in martial arts, which I'm gonna go through in this video. Perfected over thousands of years by the priest of Pama. They have high manipulation over pressure points and nerve endings on the body of one's opponent. Even if the character has out of the ordinary level durability, she somehow can do some ignoring durability stuff and still damage them regardless of their insane durability, like I'm also showing this vid. Even stated right here. They even acknowledge that she can stun powerful beings like Thor, even though she herself has no superhuman strength, they supposedly say. You're going to get all the information you want to about her. There's a lot more to her character than you would expect. In this video, you're going to probably get tired of me talking about her plant stuff and telepathic stuff, how she can transfer herself from plant life to plant across interstellar distances or interdimensionally. She had evolution, like her rebirth. She can fire powerful energy blasts, form energy fields, communicate directly with cosmic beings, stuff I'm going to talk about in this video, and can completely control her personal energies as well as her physical form. Her mind, a human-plant hybrid, is largely immune to metaphysical assault. A lot of stuff I'm about to get ready to go over about Mantis in the same vid. One of her main things is her martial art ability. Fighting skills is a 6 out of 7. It probably should be a 7 based on the stuff I'm going to tell you. Her speed is insane. Reflexes, which I'm going to show you in here in this vid as well. Mantis is actually very important in comic book. She's treated like some new chosen one type thingy, celestial messiah type thing in comic lore. They even call her the Celestial Madonna right about here. but let's continue. The fact she's even being compared to characters like Moondragon when it comes to, or being the most powerful telepath in civilized space, let you know how good she is in it. She's even considered one of the most powerful players on Earth. When it comes to the nature of Marvel, you can make a lot happen if you just know a lot of martial arts or just even mystical things in nature. She already has psionic type stuff. Her strength is something I would say is definitely not her specialty, but hey, she can still kind of do stuff that doesn't really make sense for her size and weight, like lifting up a grown man with one arm by the throat, like Star-Lord here. Or this could be a mixture of her strength and skills to draw a circle in concrete, then kick a pathway open like that. One interesting fight is in this occasion with the Fantastic Four, how she's fighting these magically powered metal tools. Okay. Still able to hold her ground. She's not afraid to pull up on the Elder of the Universe, somebody that pairs to Shang-Chi, one of the best martial arts at Marvel. Mantis is able to react to beings like this. Man, I know skill can do a lot, but some of this stuff has to be a little bit of strength in there too. They say Thor himself would have fell from that blow. She even pulled up on a giant alien lizard along with others. You see her strike it, was able to hold off long enough via her striking power is right there, long enough for Vision to take care of it. She got in a scuffle with the entire Avengers thanks to her strength and skills. Obviously, there wasn't bloodlust and they wasn't like, super duper serious trying to restrain her. And they was obviously holding back in this occasion, but this is still impressive. Staggering Thor, staggering Vision, knocked Scarlet Witch off of her. All of these characters. It's one of them quick scuffle type things where they was trying to talk it out. She didn't knock Thor out or nothing here. It was like a little quick scuffle. Even super soldiers like Captain America have trouble breaking her unbreakable grip, they say. In newer-ish stuff, she even wields blades, like maybe some sort of lightsaber to cut beings up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's talk about the time Mantis curb stomped all of these men because of her speed, fighting skills, everything put together. They even talk about how swift her movements and graceful her movements are. Talking about the different martial arts she's performing, like the praying mantis. She's debatably one of the best martial artists in Marvel that nobody ever talks about. Reminded me of Karate Kid from DC, being able to do superhuman stuff just because of freaking skills. Like using nerve clusters in this occasion, shattering armor weave plate and reinforced bones beneath. Nerve clusters explode, but her body is still a body. She has a deep understanding of a comparative anatomy. The being known as Karnak, who's definitely a top tier fighter, like he literally knows how to detect weaknesses in anything. Even if it's not physical, he can detect weaknesses in your state of mind. She fights this guy, a guy I have a video about. Might I add the cherry on top, she actually got the win on him, especially keeping the fight short and concise. She even goes as far as saying you would have defeated her 2.6 minutes from now, provided you are conscious, but she had to blitz him before he figured that stuff out. Takes down multiple. Fallon X soldiers thanks to their speed, gracefulness, strength, and etc. put together. Fallon X infected security drones with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, they don't stand a chance for fighting. She's soloing the roots that she can technically communicate, the Katati roots. A brief incident with Thanos knocked him off her feet, but yeah, she didn't win against Thanos. Not gonna just show her winning. She does take L's here and there, like in this case with Moondragon. They fought in an extended fight, panel for panel. You can really see the skill displayed on each of these panels, agility and etc. Even throwing out nerve punches to one another. As respectable as this seems, you see the death grip, flipped her off of her. Actually takes the L to this powerful being known as Moondragon. But she used her own moves on Mantis. Moondragon did say she was the most formidable antagonist she's ever faced, taking out all these priests of Pama. Her skills were so insane, she even went as far as taking on her old master. It's one of them Bruce Lee surpassed the master type situations. It truly lets you know how raw this Mantis is. While she was under control, miraculously wiggles around all these shots from Hawkeye, fighting all these Avengers, even powerhouses like Wonder Man somehow. Even beings that have insane durability, she still knows nerve complexes. Even though his eyes are filled with ionic energy, they're still eyes apparently. Then riding on Wonder Man while she did that to his eyes, using him as a battering ram to ram Hawkeye like that. Now Hawkeye's knocked out and now he's running rampant because his eyes is hurting. Then she simply does a strike to the solar plexus because of skills that didn't work. He tries a punch, she does this to his leg, and because of skill, a thrust to the neck with the power and leverage she can command will paralyze even you for a time, incapacitating a Thorish level being. How? Because of fighting skills? Scarlet Witch even gets blitzed, kicked. She ends up blasting Vision. Now Vision is sleepy. Of course, Wonder Man didn't stay down. He stayed down for a split second. Now he's back. She dodges his attack. He even says, how does she move like that? She must know some ancient jujitsu crap, alien space secret, mystical type stuff for her to be able to do stuff like this. Mantis can put her mind in a trance-like state, aka no thoughts, aka she's able to act solely subconscious instinct-like. Sounds like Mantis has ultra instinct if you ask me, but that's none of my business. She seems to be able to improvise in the middle of battle, use different weapons, and counter you with the said weapon if she has to, catch it, and throw you. She has a lot of different ways to incapacitate you. One thing I gotta admit though is this hold right here. You keep on seeing her doing comics. She did this against Captain America like I showed a little bit earlier. Notice how she's on this guy's back because of skill, and was able to flip him over because of skills, right? She pulls a Karate Kid and says, strength is nothing compared to skills. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you should underestimate her striking you no matter your size. Even things that seem like they wouldn't even be able to be harmed by her thanks to her skills and her knowledge about things still can stun them. Mantis somehow seems to like to be able to defy the impossible, like being able to damage beings. Skills alone shouldn't be able to make you be able to harm them. Like Thor because of pressure points. Skills are an amazing thing, but skills can only take you so far. There's some stuff you just can't bust just because of skills or damage. But the thing about Mantis is that she begs to differ and doesn't care about your normal rule of law. She somehow knocks out Thor because of a certain nerve passage in his neck. This is one of those things that shouldn't be possible with just skill alone, but yet she somehow does it. 30s in the martial arts have graced her with limited knowledge of mysticism, literally summoning the lion deity. She knows dances that can even hypnotize the lion god, perfect muscle control to where she's tied by rope, she can get free of it, can sense magic, like feeling the magical vibrations of Doctor Strange, kick and tail, going to work. She can fit through tight spaces just from her sheer knowledge of being able to control her body in such an acute way. Knows knowledge of slowing her fall, similar to how skydivers slow their fall by spreading their body out a certain way. She can change her skin to green to human flesh, by the way. Was able to resist Kang's vibration beam because she has control over her body, fragments of herself, even learned about the mystic nature due to her time being apart from herself. Respectable. It's even stated that Mantis, as the goddess of life, I draw my power from every star in the sky. More occasion of her summoning energy blasts. Throughout her evolution, she doesn't just have martial arts, she actually gets other projectile type of attack. She's one of those characters where I wouldn't necessarily say she has the magic on the level of characters like Magic, Wanda, Clea, Doctor Strange, or Dr. Voodoo, or a candidate like Dr. Doom, or a potential candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. I wouldn't say she's on the Sorcerer Supreme type level of magic, but she knows some stuff. Her hearing is almost as good as Rocket's as well. She can survive in space without no aid, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Pretty impressively in the newer-ish type stuff, taking blasts from Thanos, still showing off her impressive agility and all that good stuff. She has to be able to hold her weight with all these powerhouses, right? I see no reason why her fighting speed shouldn't be up to par. Most of these beings she's fighting have ridiculous combat speed. She has to have competence in this regard. Like easy stuff like catching an arrow mid-flight, again, evading Thanos' strikes, somebody that be like reacting to speed blitzes from Silver Surfer, outrunning this Galactus beam that was consuming everything, battles these beings while in the process maneuvering. Technically with these beams of lasers like this, she look like she can evade it. One can argue one of the fastest beings in the universe, along with Makari, being able to trip the runner mid-run, dodging lightning, something Super Soldier Tears do. Daredevil does, Spider-Man does it. No reason why she shouldn't be able to do it. Makes sense, not an outlier. Fast enough to tag Quicksilver mid-run. They say she has no superhuman attributes, but I find that very hard to believe. Especially blitzing beings like the Collector before they can really freaking react. Even against magicians like people with guns she blitzes, even against magicians that have good hand-to-hand combat like Doctor Strange, she can fight. Doctor Strange is also a good martial artist too, so that makes sense. Another magician like Wong, she slung him against the door. I showed this already, but her speed was fast enough to save Scarlet Witch before she can get eaten by this big thing. Sometimes her martial arts abilities can get in the way of the fact she's kinda on some Poison Ivy stuff from DC Comics stuff. Sometimes people forget she has other abilities other than just martial arts. This right here is a perfect example of it. It's not just newer stuff. Even back in these older days, she commands plants. Or one could say she demonstrates some command over them, right? It makes sense. Legit chlorokinesis to where she can use a plant as like a stand-in. So in a way, she can kind of make an avatar of herself. So when she gets impaled, it won't actually count as a legit fatal wound, making her body out of vegetation. I remember that time she lit Groot on fire because she's apparently pyrokinetic? She's so good at connecting with nature. She can tell when something is enchanted. There's sometimes when the writers decide if she can fly or not, she can just straight up communicate with like organic plant life type stuff. They call it biopathy. In this particular occasion, she used it to locate Groot's spores or turbocharge Groot's growth speed. There's heavily indications she has some level of psionic ability, telekinesis. She's helping blast from the Church of Truth. Even blocked Cancerverse Iron Man's blast here, implied to have some psionic type of shielding. In a way, she has her own spider sense with precognition, implied to be able to see the future of stuff like on some prophecy type stuff. Uses her precognition to kind of help the Guardians or Star-Lord break a barrier around the Earth. She comes in clutch when making plans. against things that might be impossible type of odds. Psionic type beings just seem to have premonitions of things to come, just like how psionic beings may have a dream of something that might happen. Mantis gets this type of stuff too. Even people that work with Mantis get annoyed at how she already knows when stuff's about to happen when they're preparing. I guess it's kind of hard to surprise Mantis because she already kind of knows what's about to happen before it happens. So it's like, oh, okay, I already know what's happening. She said it in 5.2 seconds, a positive swing in our fortunes will turn the tide. And she was right. I am Groot. The thing about her precognition her main weakness to the precognition seems like it comes randomly, or some would say too late. Like, say if you get a vision a split second before it happens, what help would that be? That kind of lets you know that it has its ups and downs about being a precognitive type of person. She even says, sometimes the future visits me like cold, sudden, and ugly. I know I had seconds just to warn Peter. It wasn't enough time to really do anything. When she doesn't feel like studying somebody, she can just say stuff like this. In 3.5 hours time, I will be able to tell you that this person isn't remotely human as you or I would understand the term. He's encased in a total biospheric bodysuit. I don't care, penetrated, all that fun stuff. Knows when the team is going to make a grand return. She understands a plan will work before the plan was executed, that it would cause some beings to die. It's like she sees alternate futures at the same time. It's like some alternate realities might work, some might not necessarily work. Yeah. Specifically in this one, who knows? Like, she doesn't know if this is the actual outcome. Can tell when you will win at some point, though. Foresaw a Kree before you can even relay a message. Sensing danger. Being this aware of everything will be scary. She literally feels the seconds being ripped from the cosmos around her by the invisible hands of time. This one senses only 20 minutes left for us now. Like, yeah, that's scary. Do you like her senses better than Spider-Man's spider scent? Or do you think hers is unreliable or too inconsistent and too randomized? Another reason on why her martial arts could be crazy is because she got a telepathic advantage too versus everybody else. She can read Silver Surfer's mind. Mantis can communicate with Rocket in their heads. Can put psionic defense on her teammates. Even reading Ultron's mind. She's even been shown to telepathically restrain beings. Can apparently communicate with living metal. Can tell when you're speaking to an abstract cosmic type being. She has no problem putting beings in literal illusions. Remember that avatar stuff I mentioned? She can transfer her consciousness into another before her fake body is destroyed. Transfer it to the plant life just as her body was destroyed. Yeah, she can literally make plant avatars of herself. She can give you information on certain plans or just straight up inform you. Even inform you of the plans of the elders of the universe. Can psionically conceal herself from Kree tech. Can turn off your pain. When the team doesn't want to act right and don't want to act as a team, she can rewrite it to where they actually act as a team. If you need to see some cosmic features, she can just straight up show you. See through your deception. She can use her telepathic abilities in combat. She can just straight up attack your mind. Implied here how you see all the blue stuff over these beings' heads. You might not even get a chance to actually fight her physically because spikes of psionic agony driven through your skulls. Working together with other psionic type beings that gangbang up on Thanos. Mantis, Cosmo, and Moondragon working together to blast him. She scrambles Cancerverse Doctor Strange before he can do a spell. Not afraid of mixing in some kicks with it either. Its implications she can perform mass mind wipes. Her fighting skills with her telepathic abilities, they call it telepathic martial arts, is strong enough to hold off armies. She can literally turn off Sue Storm's pain receptors when she's working with the Fantastic Four and stuff. Even cosmic-ish type beings have no power over her. All magic users or psionic beings can, in some way, form or fashion, astral projector she has to, planet to planet, throughout the cosmos, as long as there's plant life, because she can kind of send her consciousness to another plant avatar to be that way. She can locate beings even while she's in a negative zone, aka another dimension. She can astral project light years. So the range is pretty far. Outer edge of the Lumar system. You get it? I respect anybody that's able to have a psychic fight with Thanos, even though Thanos is one of the best telepaths. I still find this insane. But all this could be just me because of skills. She can harm top tiers like Thor, a literal deity because of fighting skills with no superhuman physicals, supposedly, they say. But that could be just me. Respect Mantis. Did you know Mantis was this overpowered? How you feel about her fighting a DC character like Karate Kid, somebody else that has supposedly only skills but still can harm top tiers somehow? Do you get where I'm coming from when it comes to this comparison? Do you think anybody's skills should technically be this good? I would like to see her scuffle with a DC character like Karate Kid. Two people that supposedly have skills because of martial arts, but their fighting skills can make them harm beings that are way physically stronger than them. Not to mention Mantis kind of gets other stuff like mystical knowledge and energy projection and even go on your head middle of the fight. So how do you even fight her even without even just You got to worry about her going in your head, not just fighting skills now. Great respect, Mantis, but that could be just me. But I also got to give a quick shout out to those that took the time to donate to the channel. Helps out a lot, believe it or not. Respect, Mantis.